Hello and welcome to episode 9 of the Drunken Arcanauts Golarion campaign. Blah. I'm Clancy. I'll be your DM today. This is a Pathfinder 2nd Edition campaign based on the Fall of Plaguestone scenario with some custom flavor, random additional things to the canon, such as corgis with boots and so on, and things more serious than that have been added that I can't remember. We're learning the system, but you can learn with us. Before I get into last episode, if everyone wants to go around and introduce themselves, then I'll cut back and catch us up.
Hi, I'm Risky, and I am playing Gene Remington, who's a human ranger guy against ghosts and spooky stuff.
Yeah. I'm Mark. I play Dr. Gish, who is a goblin alchemist. Hasn't done probably a whole lot other than almost die several times, but stay tuned.
I'm Jay. I play Mornar, half elf swashbuckler, does flips and shit, is afraid of his own team in combat.
I'm Claire. I play Delicia Fairshadow, bounty hunter and I don't know, party killer, I guess, player killer within the game. So yeah, I'm hoping I don't die or kill anybody else.
Okay. Where we left off, the party had taken over a mission for the Elf Ranger Nawala. She had been seeking help in uncovering the cause of the recent blight to the forest. Recent in elf terms. It's been going on for years at this point. And they, after she passed out from a fever, agreed to help and started to investigate. And then, in a moment of sheer clarity on their part, decided to get up somewhere high and try and pinpoint the center of the blight. They went there and engaged at the same time the big bad boss mutant wolves, along with some bloodlasher vines, which was a harrowing fight that almost resulted in a full party wipe, but for the grace of the dice, barely did not. Where we come to, the party is outside the wolf's den, in the center of the worst part of the blight, and they still need to figure out what has caused this.
I think that went well.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Can I get a patch up, somebody? Because like I'm pretty close to dying over here.
Me too.
I don't even remember if I took damage in that fight.
I did. I think. Wait, yeah, I'm. What's the status?
Injured?
Is it just
Wounded?
Oh yeah, wounded. That's the word.
I have wounded 2 currently.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. You have wounded 2, and Gene has wounded 1, I think.
Yeah.
Not that I'm trying to say that I'm more important than Gene. In fact, I would say patch him up. There's better chance of him surviving and not killing the rest of the party. Maybe.
Yeah, getting Delicia back into fighting shape may actually be detrimental.
Yeah.
I am the BBEG.
Gene, do you have any more of your healing potions, or you're all out?
I have some, I think.
I also
Thankfully,
have some,
I
but
think
I'm
I spent most of my starter money on healing potions.
I'm just gonna start treating wounds for Delicia.
That'd be good, yeah. While Delicia's getting patched up, I pull out my pipe that I smoke, that I have not used in the campaign thus far. which is my I'm sick of this shit move kind of thing. Like Delicia's tired of nearly dying a number of times and not being able to hit a single shot, and so it's ruining her day. She needs a quick smoke.
Kevin, who I don't reference very often, who had been staying back the whole time with the caravan because I didn't want to deal with him, is with us and is licking your face. But I'm doing my treat wounds. I rolled a 17.
17. That's 2d8.
We're outside this big ass tree thing, right?
Yep.
That's where we're at. I'm gonna kind of just like start investigating around it.
Do I roll a 2d8 or do you roll a 2d8?
Dr. Gish is going to roll the 2d8. He's the one who's treating the wounds.
Gotcha.
The wounds. So, as you sort of investigate the tree there, Mornar, let me see. What skill did you want to use?
I am going to use probably my forest lore or my survival, one of those, because we're in the forest, right?
Yeah, survival's okay. You can use
Yeah,
survival.
I'll use survival. That's a 9. Yeah.
Okay. Making it difficult to
Listen, it didn't go the way I wanted it to go either, okay? I rolled a 2.
Okay. With a 9, you're like, yep, it's a tree. You can see some patches of where the mutant wolf's hair had sort of fallen out. It's all over the den. There is another like sort of, it looks like a gnarled sort of root that has been burned away and has a doorway that leads into a route that goes underground, it appears. You see maybe, it looks like a doorway. It's sort of hard to tell. It could just be a root that grew kind of funny.
I am going to look for any traps.
Is that, you have perception, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, perception, please.
While you're perceiving, Delicia, you got 12 HP.
Thank you.
25.
You don't see any traps.
Okay. I'm going to go back out and check on them.
Okay. Outside, you find Dr. Gish has been patching people up. Delicia looks alive. Jean looks okay. How are you two doing?
I'm on 13 health.
How do you look?
Like shit.
I also I would look like, if we were to use metaphorical hit points or something along those lines, that I'm at what would be called an HP twinsy with Jean. So that is my current. I don't look
You
good.
got down to 1?
Oh yeah,
You just got 12.
I literally I died. Like I went down.
Oh, yeah. Good times.
So they both look like Keanu Reeves in the third act of a John Wick movie. They're looking rough.
Yeah, I got whipped a fuck ton and had a wolf biting me.
Blood drained out of you.
Yeah.
I don't get hit anymore. I don't want to get hit anymore.
Okay. I feel like a lesson learned here could be not to jump down and try to do things on our own. So just for the future, when we're continuing to deal with this blight and tree situation, not anyone in particular, just like a general note for the entire party.
It was a sneak attack.
I like to imagine Dr. Gish, like as he's patching you up, lecturing you this way. Arms behind his back, just like, you see, the thing is.
You should stop being a dumbass.
Just like an actual doctor does to you.
Yeah.
Mornar, I saw you poking around this tree. Did you learn any things? that are helpful
It-
to us?
It looks like there is a place you can go once you go in the tree. I was a little too afraid, especially hearing your lecture from inside, that maybe I should not adventure on my own.
That's a good
It's
call.
fine. We got the bad guy.
Assuming there are more dangerous things inside, what did the two of you, like, what is the plan here? Because you guys look like shit.
I mean, I would hate for us to have to rest, recuperate, and everything, and then have the bad guy to go to ground, and then that have just be like a whole extra thing of us having to deal with. I mean, I'm pretty sure whoever might be in there probably heard us out here quarreling and fighting.
I did push
But-
over a tree.
Yeah, and there was a bunch of explosions and a lot of screaming and death.
Yeah.
That being said, though, I don't want to step on another thing that's going to skewer me 8 different ways and die again.
Yeah.
So I mean, if we want to take a long rest, that might be prudent.
Do we have an entire 8 hours to wait for this? It seemed pretty urgent from what that person was telling us.
Yeah.
I mean, it won't do us any good if we walk in there and you instantly trip on a rock and die.
That could happen. You've been pretty clumsy lately.
Yeah.
Mornar and I
Wait.
could just go check it out.
Okay.
If you guys are too scared.
Me and Gene, how about me and Gene form our own little walking behind you quite a ways party? I promise that while we're under the ground, I will not fire my musket in anyone's direction or at all.
That's
I'd
good.
say at all.
There's definitely better ways that we can contact each other and get each other's attention, I would say. So that's a good note.
I meant more in a combat situation, but yeah, I also I've given up on the whole signal musket unique idea
It
in a
could be
crowded
bad
city.
underground too.
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay, come on, Kevin. Kevin and I start walking in.
I'm gonna hand Delicia another healing potion.
You've used so many.
Yeah, I'm down to like 7 now.
Jeez.
You
Just
bought
7.
a lot of them.
Yeah, I was like, oh, they're how much? Okay, that's like all my goal.
That gives me a D8.
Yeah,
4. Okay.
I can treat your wounds again in an hour, Delicia, if we make it that long. Don't worry.
I mean, I'll just try to play it safe until then. We can see how far in this dang thing goes. Just be careful, because as soon as you start going into that entryway past the cave, I'm pretty sure there's going to be some sort of trap, knowing the way this alchemist works.
I thought Mornar was looking for traps. Did you find any, Mornar?
I did not see any at the entrance,
I
but I
don't
didn't
think-
look much farther.
We didn't find any of the traps that we sprung. So
Yeah,
I
we
don't know.
are.
I don't know if
That's
that
why I
actually means
specifically
anything.
said I did not see any at the entrance. I do not know much past that.
Start throwing rocks in front of you.
Pick up some rocks.
Okay, you get to the gnarled root door. Well, looks sort of like a door. Really, it just looks like a big old mass of roots in the shape of a door.
Do you think we should knock, or what are we gonna?
I think I don't have your dog. What is your? Does
No,
your, what,
Kevin. No. We're
Have your
not.
dog sniff at
We're
it.
not gonna send Kevin into the mouth of danger here.
He's small
Just look at
again.
him. Have you seen his face? That's not. I don't know about this. I'll try to go push on the door and see if it pushes. Do you think there's a push pull? Which way, guys?
It's a kick.
Roll me a perception. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17. 17.
18.
18. It is a pull. You can see a faint line in the ground where it drags, probably so that if you had managed to sneak by the large mutant wolf, the act of opening the door would actually have to like impact it in order to get in there.
Good thing we took care of that wolf before. It looks like I got to pull this out. I'm going to try to just pull the door open, the roots door.
It feels heavy, almost like it's dragging or pulling on something.
Mm. Mornar, I need help. I'm just little.
I am staying away from the entryway of the cave.
Am I able to like peek in the crack to see if there's anything like attached to the door?
You mean when he pulls on it, you want to stick your head in the
Not
crack?
all the way in. I want to look into the crack. I don't want to stick my whole fucking head in there.
Right, like as it's cracking open, maybe
Yeah,
a
it's
half
kinda
inch, you stick your
just
eye right up
yeah.
against it.
Yeah, just a little bit. Not right up against it, but
It looks very dark in there.
and I mean, I am a half elf. I can see pretty good.
Yeah, it's just dark.
Shit. All right. I'm just gonna help him pull on it slowly,
Okay.
carefully.
You feel the
PTSD.
little snapping and breaking of tiny roots that have burrowed into the dirt all over.
I'm gonna just
Um,
duck.
And slowly, with a rocking motion, you manage to break it free and get the door open, and it slides open.
It's too easy.
It's just a
Delicia
door.
watching from the clearing back where we fought the blood, leans over to Jean and is like, "This is bullshit."
They didn't die.
No, they're fine. They're fine.
Just gonna turn around and give you guys a thumbs up.
Good job.
Looking into the passage, it appears to slope down and go for maybe 100 yards before you can't tell any farther what's going on.
I'm gonna start softly, stealthily moving my way in.
I'll follow him because the last time I was in front, I got rolled over and almost died.
I get rolled over again. I gotta go
You're
backwards.
gonna roll back.
Delicia, Jean, you see them heading into the passage. What are you two doing?
I'm moving up to the dog area now, then, so that as they, I want to wait until they go down a little bit more.
Do you get to the passage and then wait, or do you wait
Yeah.
outside the tree?
We wait outside the passage.
You said stealthily, correct, Mornar?
Yes.
You want to roll me stealth, and
Yes.
Dr. Gish, you stealthy as well.
Yeah.
Is Kevin
for
with
myself.
you?
I'm gonna leave him at the door
Okay.
because it seems
Okay,
like
Kevin.
Mornar wants to send him in to get injured before the rest of us and set off traps.
I don't have Finnick around.
I got a 21 stealth.
Okay.
I got a 28.
Must be
You guys
nice.
make it down the passage. Delicia, Jean, you lose sight of them as they're going. Are you following? You calling after them, or are you just waiting until for longer? I guess.
What do you
Guess we
think,
should-
Gene?
We should decide on like how long. Like give them like a 10-second or a
10
minute.
seconds sounds good.
Oh, it's been like 40.
Well, then we're 40 seconds.
Are
worth.
you
As soon
saying
as
10
they-
seconds after you lose sight of them, or 10 seconds behind them?
Well, I guess if they're stealthy and they're going slow. So I don't know.
I would say if we start to lose sight of them, that's when we're starting to go.
Okay. Up ahead, Mornar and Jean, or Mornar and Gish, you guys come to a turn, and the passage starts to slope upward. What was lots of dirt becomes a more rocky passage, not carved through stone, but just tons of large rocks and things are sort of jutted out of the wall, places where they had to dig them out of the way. It looks like you went down through the ground at that tree and you were headed towards a nearby cliff. And this is probably going to bring you up on top of that cliff, is what it seems like. Back behind, just keeping pace with them. Nothing alarming yet. Eventually, Mornar, you come to another solid, sort of rooty door.
Just gonna take a good look at it. Look for traps, look for anything like that.
Are you just looking at it? You putting your hands on it? Like, walk me through your method for trap detection.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking at corners of the door. If I can see through the roots at all, see if I can see anything on the other side. Kind of touching it lightly to feel like if it's just stuck on anything, like the other door was.
Like the other door, on the inside of the passage, the roots have grown into the walls and things.
Okay. I'm just gonna kind of pull on it a little bit softly.
Okay.
See if I can break it free without being a crazy person.
Push and pull and tug a little bit lightly. You can feel the roots, the little tiny ones, snapping, and it's getting sort of looser to push. And suddenly, a big one snaps, and it slides right open. And you are in you're on top of the cliff, and you're in a little bit of a meadow. The blight has infected everything here, but it's different than the blight down below. Whereas below there was naught but death, the blight up here seems to have created a sort of foul type of life. There are pustules on everything, little glowing growths that seem to emit a faint light. Little flies buzzing around them everywhere. They seem attracted to it. The grass and the plants are all not that rotting, just carcasses. Here they are alive but look twisted and are dripping, instead of sap or the normal sort of green of plants, more of a oily black seems to drip out of the wounds and pustules on all of the plant life everywhere in the meadow. Specifically, let's see here. You see 4 abnormal bushes with sort of purple and blue flowers on them. Their vines are sort of dug into the ground. And past those 4 bushes, you can see an actual wall, like a man-made wall of wood. And there appears to be a cave behind the wall set into another cliff face. Are you waiting here for Delicia and Jean, or are you going out to explore?
I'm waiting.
Okay. Soon enough, everybody's caught up.
Would this... I have like a thing about witches and curses, so would I recognize this as being like any type of curse on the land or something?
I would say you recognize many of the hallmarks of like a witch's curse, but it doesn't have any of the normal signs. So it doesn't appear to be magical in nature. It appears, as said before, to be alchemical in nature. But it's following many of the rules of how a curse affects life.
Awful lot of doors down here, wouldn't you say, guys? That's pretty weird.
True.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ah.
Yeah.
I don't know why they wouldn't just have like a path directly to the cliff instead of a weird tunnel.
Extra security. Technically speaking, looks like those doors weren't used in a while, so maybe there is another way out. Maybe we just came in the back door.
Just came the awful way.
Yeah. Although at the same time, probably still in the awful way. Bushes. Let's not go near those for the
Yeah.
most part.
Maybe these
Yeah,
are friendly bushes.
That's a good point. That could be 100% accurate. No.
One way to find out. Does it seem like we need to get down this cliff from where we are?
No, like where you guys are at, you're on top of the cliff, and all of this is on top of the cliff. There's like a
Oh.
little sort of shelf, and then there's another cliff that, well, I shouldn't say that. There's a wall that is a cliff face, and inset into that wall is another entrance into somewhere, and then extending out from that is a sort of wooden wall. Somebody built a little fortification around a cave entrance, and you guys are up on the same level as that now. Whereas down below where you were before, you couldn't even see any of this. It just looked like part of the mountain.
We still have any alchemist fires?
Oh yeah, I can just make that.
Oh.
I'm an alchemist, right?
You're an
I thought you were
alchemist?
a doctor.
Yeah, doctor of alchemy. There's not just medical doctors. Did you know that?
Well,
Yeah.
Why don't they just call him
that
something
does
else?
explain.
It's
at
weird we've
least a
been
little
together for
bit.
so long and you guys don't know anything about me.
The doctor of alchemy.
You keep changing what your degree is in, so
What do you mean?
Uh,
Alchemists are healers. I don't know who did this. I don't think this is this
Well,
is definitely not a good alchemist who did all this blade if that's the case.
I would like to restock my alchemist fire if you got some extras.
Okay, I'll give you a couple.
All right. What are we burning?
This is Delicia. Delicia wanted to know how much alchemist fire we had, so I don't know what their plan was, but
Bushes. And I just point to the bushes.
to the bushes with the pretty purple and blue flowers.
I mean, does anybody recognize anything about these bushes?
They don't look like the bushes down below.
Nothing looks like anything down below for the most part. Can I roll, can I tell anything about these through like a nature check or survival?
I got an 18 for nature check.
Yeah, roll nature checks. Everybody who's interested.
18.
16.
24.
26.
Okay. With an 18 and a 16, you notice that these are the only bushes that don't have pustules on them and don't look glowing. It's almost like they're either immune or whatever the infected part of them is hidden underneath all the foliage and flowers. 24, 26, there's actually two different types of bushes. The purple bushes, which have very large vines and a few purple flowers on them. They're interwoven. These are just long vine plants that are sort of strung along, even through the grass a little bit. And then there are the blue flowering bushes, which are more of a big round bush. 26 specifically, you recognize these as vine lashers and poison blooms. These are large, colorful plants that are known to be somewhat dangerous to creatures that go near them.
I'm just gonna stick my head out, look at him again. I would definitely hit them with fire.
Okay. Good, check one.
Real quick, is there a way, like, there's obviously not any kind of circumference around them that we've seen, but does it look like we could keep away from them and still get to the entrance to the wall? Or are they, like, right in front of it?
Oh, no, you could easily go around them.
I'm going to point that out.
Oh. The last one's moved.
They did.
Just throw the fire. What's the
do
worst
I
that
know
could
whether or
happen?
not these ones move?
What's that?
Would I know whether or not these ones moved?
They're plants. They don't usually move.
The
I'm gonna
last
throw
ones
fire.
did move, but most plants don't move.
These
Most
don't
plants
seem
don't
like
try to kill
I
you.
would say
plants don't have-
1% chance they move.
lashers on them and poison either.
I'm assuming you mean to get to the wall, right? If you want to get through the gate, you do absolutely have to go past them. They're all clustered right around the gate.
Okay.
The wooden wall, which is only like 12 feet tall, doesn't have them. You would have to like climb over the wooden wall.
If I were designing this down here, and it seems like you would put something dangerous in front of something you're protecting, and so maybe we need to just destroy these bushes and see what's past the gate. The
So
wall is
fire?
just tall. We can
Yeah.
always deal with the wall.
Have you thrown it, Gene, or because like I feel like
Sounds
Gene is
like he's-
I like have it cocked and I'm just like watching them talk.
I'm just gonna look at Gene and just shrug my shoulder. Like, I don't.
Well, I don't want to fuck with those things ever again. So I'm gonna
Agreed.
So
Okay.
our plan is to try to climb.
as the alchemist's fire sails through the air, the bushes literally shudder. The grass underneath it, where the shadow is, reacts to the shadow, almost just trembling at the sense of movement. And as soon as the shadow hits, moving extremely fast, sort of a shockwave of the grass reacting spreads out as though all of the grass is warning the other grass and the bushes and everything. The alchemist's fire hits the bushes and they make no sounds, but thick clouds of purple mist are being sprayed from them as they burn. The mist covers probably a 30-foot radius around the plants and is heavy in the air. You guys are, I'm assuming, outside of that range. And eventually the bushes are all caught on fire and burned to ash. And the mist fades slowly.
Do we want to burn the grass too? It's creepy.
I don't want to die.
I don't either.
I'm worried about us lighting the grass on fire and then us just, not having anywhere to go. And then I've been surrounded by fire before. In fact, actually with this same group of individuals.
As long as we remember you, Delicia, you'll never die.
That's a good point. I've had a long life. Have we noticed any other changes aside from the grass doing grass thing?
No. I mean, you threw the alchemist fire. It reacted to the shadow as it passed over it. But as the bushes died, the grass didn't do anything. And you guys haven't stepped on the grass at all.
I'm gonna throw a rock over the grass.
As you throw a rock, everywhere that shadow goes, like a wave, the grass reacts. It splays and wiggles for a moment, and it just carries all the way across the face of the cliff. It's kind of pretty, almost like wind is blowing in two different directions for a moment as the grass flings itself around and then goes back to not moving. Where the rock lands, the grass is sort of straining away from it and then stops moving.
Does anyone know how to fly? That would be pretty helpful in this time.
This place is creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
You know what? I take it back. Let's go ahead and try to burn ourselves a little bit of a pathway from here to the gate.
All right, let's just back in the tunnel a little bit, and I'm gonna throw.
Can you like do like a roll of fire? So like you roll like a bowling ball. So it just like
It like explodes when it breaks.
yeah, like real like a little bit of an underhand. So like breaks and then kind of, you know,
And spreads everywhere.
just a little more than maybe like in a path rather than a circle.
You're thinking like uncork it and roll it so that it's spilling out as it goes.
Yeah, a little bit.
Alchemist fire is a combination of volatile liquids that ignite when exposed to air.
Yeah. So are you gonna uncork it and then throw it?
Yeah, I'm gonna try this real quick, y'all. I pull out a torch, I light it, and then I'm going to take the torch over to the grass and kneel down and try to ignite the grass.
How close to the
Fuck.
grass are you when you?
I
do
am
this?
not on the grass.
No, I mean
I-
like you're touching it. Are you down on your knees? Are you like where? How are you standing?
I
or
take a knee
okay.
off the grass, and because I'm Delicia Fairshadow and I have long fucking arms, I am like,
Roll me perception with advantage.
Well, she's doing that. I have all this farmer's gear. Is there anything in there that's useful for this?
What gear?
Remember, I bought that farmer's gear that I was
you're
gonna
right.
modify.
You did buy that farmer's gear. A 4?
nope, 22.
Oh, that's so much better.
Yeah, no, I would have done 4 if it was 4, and I would have looked a lot
With
sad.
22, as you burn the grass, you
Mhm.
faintly smell like freshly cut grass,
Mhm.
and you can hear the grass screaming.
Oh, this is some nightmare stuff.
Uh,
I'm gonna get back and put the torch out and be like, "Fuck it."
What did you do? What did you do?
The grass. I don't know if it's gonna be a danger or not. I'm gonna assume yes, even though that seems like a very cruel way to live my life. But it's screaming when I lit it on fire.
Oh, so you're
Um,
burning sentient grass?
I wouldn't say it's sentient, but it can scream.
Your farming supplies would work. I mean, some of them would work okay, but it would take really, in order to use them effectively to create a path through the grass, you would need some sort of beast of burden that you could then attach them to and lodge them into the ground, and then it could plow a path probably.
I look over at the little dog, and
The
then
dog
look
is at the
away because I
entrance. The
realize
dog
how
is not-
small it is.
The dog is not in here with us. You've
The dog is
threatened the
still on
dog.
the other side of the root
Oh,
path,
okay.
right?
Okay.
You threatened the dog. Kevin is not here.
I didn't threaten the dog. I suggested the dog.
I'm gonna throw the alchemist fire.
Throw it.
Where are you just throwing it like 5 feet in front of you guys?
Yeah, like a bit past where she had burned it with the torch.
Okay. Again, Delicia, you can hear the grass screaming, just like, and then go silent. Everywhere around, the grass is reacting violently. It's coiling, and then uncoiling, and then coiling, and then uncoiling, and then stops and goes still. You now have about 10 feet of path clear.
How many feet do we need?
60.
This is going pretty. I mean, it's working
Jesus.
really well though. So we can just keep burning and throwing alchemist fire.
Yeah. Just
I mean,
throw
what if we?
another one.
I mean, I guess you can still make them and stuff, but like,
Yeah, I can make them. I have quick alchemy. I can just make it.
okay.
Is that what you guys are gonna do? You're just gonna quick alchemy fire
Only one of us
patch
knows
at a
that
time?
the grass
Yep.
is burning, is screaming.
I mean, I
as-
mentioned it, but also
I do enjoy
Torture.
this weird torture of grass that we're doing. As far as I
evil
can
grass.
tell, the grass is pretty harmless, but I don't trust it all the same.
agreed. I don't want to die again from some fucking plant or nothing.
Maybe the
Okay.
grass is helpful.
Hopefully, this grass cannot tell all the other grass in the world about what's happened here.
Are you guys throwing another one?
Yeah, I'll make him, and I'm giving him to Gene though.
And Gene, you're just gonna, like a machine, keep clearing the path.
Yep.
Okay. As you guys get about halfway, the smell of freshly cut grass mixed with the smell of burning hair assaults your senses. You can smell it heavily, and now all of you can hear the screaming every time that you throw it. The first the first alchemist fire thrown after you get to the halfway point, you're suddenly assaulted by the screaming of the grass as it's straining, trying to pull itself out of the way of the fire. The whole field is screaming whenever you burn any part of it. And it's not like it's one voice. It's like tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of little voices screaming out in terror and pain.
As their little grass friends die.
This is a little disturbing. I'm gonna throw another one.
I'm just
Once
glad
again.
none of us are druids.
It just keeps going. You guys eventually do make it to the front gate. At the gate, the grass ends, and on the other side is a simple sort of stone terrace, maybe 30-foot diameter, and then an entrance to a cave. The entrance has a large number of thorny roots on it, similar to the doors that you guys had been through before, but unlike those, there doesn't appear to be any sort of handle. It's just the roots are in sort of a spiraling pattern, going clockwise, all wrapped and wrapped and wrapped and wrapped until they get to the center, and then they sort of twist together into almost a knob.
Okay, well, you guys got this. I'm gonna take a step back away
Into the grass?
from the door. Yeah, I mean, kind of near the grass. I'm still standing on what I would call grass corpses. So, yeah.
I'm gonna turn around real quick and go back to the grass, not touch it, and go. I'm sorry for killing your friends or whatever. Then I'm gonna walk back in.
That'll do it.
Yeah. Well,
just in case the other grass
apology
knows about
accepted.
this.
The grass lets you know.
Sorry for the genocide.
Yeah, so you got the big thorn root door.
Mornar, you've had great success opening doors to this
Mhm.
point.
I'm gonna check for traps.
Roll me perception.
13.
You don't see any traps.
Cool. I'm gonna start opening it slowly.
So this one doesn't seem to open. You're pulling on the knob or whatever, and it's not doing anything. It's not budging. Like before, it was as though the roots had grown in, and that was what was stopping it. This time, you get the sense that there's more to opening this.
Okay, does it
Is
seem
it
like it
wood?
needs a key or something?
Maybe you can't tell.
Is it wood?
Is it wood?
Yeah.
It is technically wood. Yes.
Okay. Well, I
I
got
don't-
a solution right here.
I do not hand him any alchemist fire at this time.
You see, Gene, that looks like it's made of wood. And it's just like, no.
What do you think we need to do here, guys?
I told
Are
you.
there?
But not burn it. You could stroke it in a clockwise fashion. Maybe it needs some TLC.
Say melon or like friend in Elvish or something.
Melon?
Yeah,
You know, elves, they're all really into melons.
Aren't
We're all
you
really
an
into
elf?
melons.
Yes.
Melon.
You say
I'm gonna
melon.
go up to the door and just say "guest" in elf as the password. I don't know
Cool.
how to say "guest" in elf, so Mornar does.
you said fish and elf.
The password is fire.
I'm gonna gently and carefully move towards the wooden wall that is near the gate, and I'm going to be taking a look around there without touching anything. But I have a feeling that a mistake might have been made, and I'm going to just be inspecting that wall.
Roll me perception
Will do.
or investigation, if that's a thing.
It is not.
Perception will be fine.
Perception is a total of 21.
It's a wooden wall. Like I said, you guys burned all of the bushes that were right on the outside of it. It is possible to have climbed over it. It would have taken some climbing checks and things, but you also would have had to cross the grass. Well, I guess you could have burned your way to the wall and then burned the wall if you wanted to, since it's wood. But you're not seeing anything else. It seems to be rather well maintained. The wood of this wall is all heavily tarred. So it would definitely light up pretty easily, but also it has prevented any sort of rot or decay from setting into the wood.
Mm. I mean, it looks like a wall. Does somebody want to try to take a look over the edge here?
Can't you just do that? You're very tall.
I am, but I still need to climb, and climbing is something I can do.
I'm pretty good at climbing and jumping and spinning. Do you want me to climb this wall?
I haven't seen you
Come
climb
on.
anything this whole time we've been together.
Come on
How
over
do
here. I'll
think
give
we
you a
found this
boost.
place?
I'm going to offer to give Mornar a boost if Mornar wants to go up the wall.
I'll climb the wall if that's what
Okay.
the plan is.
I'm gonna try to get another alchemist fire from Gish.
This is made
Mornar,
on that.
you get up on the wall. It's only about a foot wide on top. It's not meant to be like patrolled.
I mean,
It's-
just take a
it's a
peek.
wall.
Don't just take a peek. Don't like
What?
go over.
What am I looking for?
I don't know.
What's
What do you
over
see?
there?
I don't know. What do I see?
As your shadow is cast on the ground, the grass is reacting as though in terror of the shadow. But other than that, you see a wooden wall. And, you know, the stone side of the wooden wall and the grass side of the wooden wall. And there's a big entrance with a root vine.
Is it where we came from? Is that what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's the root door that is way across the grass, and behind you is the thorn root door that you guys haven't figured out how to open yet, except for Gene. He figured out how to open it.
Jesus. It's been working for everything else that we've been doing.
It's not a bad idea. I mean, I'm out of other ideas, Mornar. If you want to come on down, we'll just. I mean, I don't want to just, light everything on fire.
That's
Technically,
where I'm at right now.
it's worth noting that the farm equipment could be used along with a regular sword to cut through the the portal if you wanted, or the door if you wanted. I mean, it's just wood and thorns and vines.
I mean, like, just do that, I guess.
You can do any of the things. I'm just making sure that you understand. It's not like wrapped around wrought iron or anything. It appears to be.
I do
just
have a crowbar.
wood.
Why?
Because it's iron.
I just mean, why do you have that?
It's for ghosts.
Anti-ghost crowbar. I like it.
Mhm.
Morner, I'd say come on down. And Gene, you want to get working on the? Not that I'm trying to like tell everybody what to do, but I mean like,
I believe I will sit up here for just a moment while he crowbars the door.
Fine. Just sit here right next to possible traps and
Delicia's pretty bossy when she's injured. It's like,
I mean, I'm not touching nothing.
Are you slamming the crowbar in there and trying to pry?
I'm gonna inspect it myself, even though I have no faith in myself anymore for detecting traps.
Okay, you're looking for traps specifically?
Yeah.
Okay. Roll perception.
I have moved behind a Gene and a little ways away to be able to grab him if need be.
Okay.
That's
But
a 13.
You don't see any traps. Again, there's lots of little thorns all over this. Outside of the one little spot that you could grab it, where there is sort of a fake handle, everything else is covered in thorns. All of the branches appear to be going in the same direction, clockwise, spiraled together, and thorns are just sticking out all over.
I gotta just poke it with the crowbar and see if anything happens.
Nothing happens.
Okay. I still want to burn this. Fine.
if you have some sort of means, go ahead.
I do. I have a team member that can just make alchemist fire.
Delicia has a torch.
From
Why
now
are
on,
you against burning
you're gonna
doors?
find Gene lying to you about how many he needs for things, so you can always have one pocketed.
Gene, if you want, I can give you a flint steel and a torch real quick. I'll even light it for you if you want to do the dirty work there. And committing door genocide this time.
We just went through screaming fucking grass, and we're stopping at burning a goddamn door.
It's not. That is not the reason.
What's the reason?
My reasoning, I don't know, man. Like, I just want to make sure that, it doesn't set off some sort of horrible alarm where the door screams or, I don't know,
That's
fucking
why I
shoots.
didn't hit it with a crowbar.
I feel like we interact with doors a lot more than grass necessarily. So if all the doors in the world knew that we burned it, that'd be pretty bad. There's an awful lot of doors just down here.
Oh man.
Ornar shaking his head in agreement.
We don't want to have to stand trial for door crimes.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, I am actually okay with just burning the fucking door. Hey,
Yeah, let's just burn the door.
Can I have some alchemist fire, please?
I throw an alchemist fire at the door.
Do you warn them before you do
no,
this?
no chance.
Gene, make a reflex save.
God damn it.
Does he get a bonus because I'm standing nearby and was specifically ready to like grab him and pull him away?
We'll
I got
say
27.
27.
He doesn't need it.
We'll say then all I need is a ranged attack from Gish to make sure that he gets it. If you were trying to shoot a target, I'd make you do it, Delicia. So.
Oh yeah, no, I know.
19.
19. Okay. You hit the door. It catches fire. It seems like it's pretty dry, actually. Goes up very quickly, crackling and burning. sends a large column of smoke up, and some is clearly going into the cave behind it. It's popping and snapping, and the as it goes, you see, as it's starting to burn away, that one single part of it was spiraling the other direction and ended in sort of a handle. And if you had reached in and grabbed that, you probably could have moved the whole door pretty easily. But it would have required you to look for something other than just fucking traps.
That's the important stuff.
Yeah. Huh. A unique door? I don't care about that. Is it trapped?
It's covered in thorns.
As the door burns away, we will have to end the session. But I will say this. As the door burns away, you catch a glimpse through the smoke of two large orcs standing on top of cages. From their cages, they open them up and release, is an abomination the right word? They release what appear to be the results of some fairly heinous alchemy experiments on wildlife, which I'm going to post in the chat here if I can. Maybe. Can I? Nope, I can't. Doesn't matter. It is a horse that appears to be made of stone and steel with glowing red eyes, and a group of rats that the very air around them freezes everywhere they touch. They come pouring out of the cages, rushing at the party. The orcs are loading crossbows. Apparently, burning the door alerted them to your coming, and they've just been waiting for you to get through. And that is where we will end episode 9 of the Drunken Arcanauts Golarion campaign. The party about to be under attack.
Yay!
Thanks for listening, and join us next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.